Alright, I figure we'll do at least one more of these rhythmic things with polyphonic accents and maybe change it up again when we get to meet on Skype again. So, let's do usual speed demos for this guy. Feels like a challenging one to me, at least this rhythm does. So here we go at 60. And double time, 120. Let's try that again. Pretty thrash metal type sound, I think. Let's do 180 next. And we'll go ahead and stop at 200. Okay, number 2. So, took into consideration the struggle you felt. I want to point out though, like, for day 1, if it feels like, again, if you can't get to the 120 on the first time you practice it, or if getting to 120 feels very, very difficult, go down to the 8th note version right away. Don't keep trying to push the 16th note in the hopes that you'll get it, because even if you do, it'll end up being like a barely got it kind of thing. So you might be beneficial. In fact, probably beneficial to just go down to the 8th note version instead. In fact, you might just want to do the 8th note version of this first, and then go into the 16th note one. So one thing I did to try and have it kind of like one exercise you did, I think it was like something like that. Basically you're like picking 4 notes a string before going to the next string, and then the one from last week picking 2 notes and then changing strings. So sometimes you'll pick 2 notes on a string before you switch to a new string, and other times you won't be. So let's see, here and here you got 2 notes and then you switch string, 2 notes, switch string. Here, 6 notes and then you switch the string, and then, so trying to do like a combination of like the last week's and then I think the weeks before that. See if that helps make the progress go a little bit more. So here we go at 60. Just do the swiping method to play it at the 200. So that's how I gotta approach that one there. So yeah, keep using that swiping. You should just blast through the strings whenever you feel the need to. Just make sure you're muting very well with the left hand. Number 3. So fantastic seeing you got all the, I think it was what, 240. Yeah, you got to the 240 with the but the one from last week where you were able to stay in that upward slant the whole time. So that's very, very cool to see that you got that. So this is all downward. Well, can be all downward because you're going to be changing the string or going to the new string after doing the upstroke. So what I end up doing is a little twitch when I go to switch the string. That's where this thing is used to get messed with. Instrumentation is going funky. I need new strings and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so we're gonna play from this angle to see if you can try and give you an opportunity to see my arm do that little rotation, and it's a quick one too. So you see it just like a little bit of a blip when I go to the next strings. So basically I'm starting with more of an upward slant. And then as like, I think like maybe like around that last upstroke, my arm starts to rotate. So this way I can get to the next string without having to do the swiping thing. Obviously at that kind of speed there, there's going to be a bit more swiping going on. So this is something you can do. And we've done something similar to this before. Because I checked like previous lessons to see if we had done an idea, which is where you go 1, 2, 3, and then you just land on the next string and you leave that for a beat. So you can do that here if you find yourself getting stuck at a certain speed. So basically you play from here to here and you let this F note ring out for a beat, and then you play here to here and you let the B note ring out for a beat, and same thing here to here, and then same thing obviously here to here. That is going to ring out for one beat, huh? Well, it doesn't have to. Anyway, so I'll demonstrate what I mean, like when I get to a higher speed. So just like it might be a troubleshoot kind of thing. So you don't have to stay in a downward slant the whole time, but if you find it helpful to, go ahead and do it. The problem I have with always being in the downward slant or something like this is when you're going to leave the strings, like you're not having your hand to mute those lower strings. So that's, I think, one reason why I developed a predominant upward slant. Sometimes I just can't speak worth a damn. End up sounding like a fool. Anyway, so that's an issue I have with doing something like this, constantly downward slanted. Unless I was doing like, palm muting for the most part. But I'm not palm muting this, which is why I used to do an upward slant and only do that little twitch to get to the next string. And this is a very subconscious thing. And I, again, believe the only reason why I was able to develop that technique is doing a ton of metronome practice and just making it sound right. And I guess, I don't know, you can say I lucked out. I mean, I did put in the time. I swear. It wasn't all luck. Alright, so here we go at 60. And at this speed, it's going so slow, I don't need to do that, any quick twitch there to get to the next string. I think what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going up further and then coming back down. Yeah, like pulling my wrist away a little bit further. So this way I'm up and out of the string. So, what you might want to do though, I don't know, like I have some reservations about always recommending exaggerating that kind of movement, but you might want to try that. So just on like that last upstroke, go ahead and like rotate your arm, like maybe exaggerate it at first, just to get used to that motion, and see if that helps. You know what? Just I'm gonna try it that way, even though I'm not used to it, just so we can hopefully see what it would look like. Let's see if I can do it myself. Here we go. Alright, so there's going to 120 now. See if I can still do the exaggerated movement. Doing it like that much of an exaggeration, it does feel like I'm coming down pretty hard on the downstroke for the new string. But it's worth trying just to help you get used to that motion. Alright, let's go to 160. I don't know if I can do that exaggeration at this speed. Let's find out. Nope. Well, now I just do it naturally. So I don't need to exaggerate it, it just happens. Okay, so the troubleshoot method. You can play it like this. So you do something like that to make sure you're sticking that landing going to the new string. It's like any time that you're get it to a speed that proves to be troublesome. So once again, you can do troubleshoot way right into the way it's written. So something like this. Let's go 200. So I'll go ahead and do the troubleshoot way and then the way it's written. I screwed up, sorry. Right on the 240. Could have done that better. I can definitely do better than that. What is going on? I was letting that ring out for a half note instead of a quarter note. You can do that too. That's fine. Try it that way too if that helps with the troubleshooting. Let's try it with the quarter note instead of the half note. Good Lord. Alright. There we go. So that covers all the thoughts that I had on things. Overall, I mean, it was great seeing. Let me see. Pull up that email you sent. Hey. Yeah, seeing it like the palm mute accent rhythm getting from 155 all the way to 185. That's awesome. And then seeing the triplet riff for exercise going from 200 to 240, again, awesome. And I mean, it's still like, I know you got, I guess that means you got burnt out there. Oh, you can't see my mouse, can you? There we go. Anyway, yeah, for number 2, I mean, you still that you got up to the 135 from here. I mean, that's still good. Like, even if you could do 120 on the first day, getting from 120 to 135, it, you know, it's improvement, it's progress. So that's very good to have. It's always good to have the progress thing. So this could end up. We'll see what happens with how exercise number 3 progresses this week. They'll give us more feedback to work with. But this very well just may end up being one of those things that call it your Achilles heel, thing that needs the most attention. And if that ends up being the case, that ends up being the case. Nothing wrong with that. We all have things to work on, yeah? Well, if you have any questions, please let me know. But I guess I'll plan on seeing you Monday at our usual time.